Hey there. You sent in some seriously cool stuff about retrieval augmented generation,
Or
or
RAGcast.
GrabGo for short. Yeah. It's like giving AI a massive upgrade,
Hmm.
turning it from a know-it-all into a learn-it-all.
Yeah.
So we're diving deep today into academic papers, blog posts from data scientists,
Right.
even a peek at a winning solution from a recent AI competition.
Exciting stuff.
Get ready to have your mind blown.
What's exciting about RAG is how it tackles a big limitation of large language models.
Okay.
Their knowledge can get outdated fast.
Yeah.
It's like relying on a textbook from 1999 to understand the internet today.
Totally. ARG changes the game by giving these LLMs access to a constantly updated library.
Right.
And not just what they were trained on, but a whole universe of information.
Yeah.
Think legal databases, research papers, even the sprawling world of the internet itself.
It's a two-step process.
Yeah.
First, the LLM gets a question.
Right.
Then, instead of relying solely on what it already knows,
Mm-hmm.
it uses a retriever component to search external sources.
So the retriever is like a superpowered research assistant scouring libraries and databases for the most relevant info.
Exactly. This retrieved information then becomes part of the LLM's context for answering the question.
Okay.
It's like giving it all the background knowledge it needs to provide a truly comprehensive and accurate response.
But as you know, not all information is created equal. What happens if the retriever pulls up something inaccurate or contradicts the LLM's existing knowledge?
That's where it gets interesting.
I bet.
Researchers are working on making these LLMs more astute,
Okay.
hence the name Astute RAG.
I see.
This approach uses the LLM's internal knowledge to fact-check and refine the information retrieved from external sources.
So we're teaching these LLMs to be critical thinkers, double-checking their sources, and not just accepting everything at face value.
And the results are impressive.
Oh.
Astute RAG actually performs as well as, or even better than, traditional LLMs without RAG, even when dealing with the worst possible retrieved information.
That's pretty amazing.
This is a huge step toward making these systems more reliable and robust.
Okay, so RAG has some serious potential.
Definitely.
But let's be realistic, developing any new tech comes with its share of challenges.
Absolutely.
One article we have here from Towards Data Science, it outlines 12 pain points that developers often encounter.
Yes, and navigating these challenges is what makes RAG research so fascinating. It's like solving a complex puzzle,
Yeah.
figuring out how to make all the pieces fit together seamlessly.
The author, Wenqi Glantz, kicks things off with missing content.
Right.
Sometimes the retriever simply can't find any relevant information.
This often comes down to the nuances of language.
Okay.
It's not always easy to translate a complex, nuanced human question into a search query that a machine can understand.
It's like trying to find a specific recipe online, but you can only search using emojis instead of words.
Exactly. Another challenge is missed top-ranked documents, where the retriever might find some relevant information,
Right.
but misses the most crucial pieces.
So it might find a book on baking, but it's a book for kids and you're trying to make a wedding cake. Not exactly helpful.
Precisely. And it often stems from the ambiguity of language.
I see.
The retriever might latch onto keywords without fully grasping the context or intent behind the question.
Then there's not in context, which seems like a particularly tricky issue when dealing with external knowledge sources.
It's like finding a puzzle piece that fits perfectly, but it's from a completely different puzzle.
Oh, I see what you mean.
RG systems need to understand how different pieces of information relate to each other within a larger context.
We need to teach these LLMs to see the forest, not just the trees.
Exactly.
Now, not extracted and wrong format sound like they go hand in hand.
They do. They do.
What's the difference?
Think of it this way.
Okay.
Not extracted is like having a locked treasure chest.
Uh-huh.
The information is there, but you need the key to access it. This often happens with unstructured data, like web pages or PDFs,
Yeah.
where the relevant information is buried within dense text or complex formatting.
So it's a matter of teaching the AI how to crack those codes and extract the valuable nuggets of information.
Right.
Gotcha.
Now, wrong format is like having the treasure chest open, but the treasure is in a language you don't understand.
Okay.
The information might be perfectly relevant,
Right.
but it's useless if the LLM can't process or interpret it.
So it's not enough to simply retrieve information. We need to ensure the AI can actually use it.
Exactly.
What about incorrect specificity? It sounds like a Goldilocks situation.
Exactly. It's about finding the right level of detail. Too broad, and the answer might be vague and unhelpful.
Yeah.
Too specific, and it might miss the bigger picture.
Like if you ask for directions and the AI tells you, go to Europe, instead of giving you specific street names.
Exactly. Then there's incomplete, which suggests that the retrieved information might only tell part of the story.
Right.
It's like trying to solve a mystery with only half the clues.
We need to make sure these LLMs have a complete picture before drawing conclusions.
Yeah.
Now, some of the other pain points, data ingestion scalability, structured data QA, and data extraction from complex PDFs,
Right.
they all seem to revolve around the sheer volume and complexity of information we're dealing with today.
That's right.
Yeah.
These challenges highlight the need for innovative solutions that can handle the ever-growing scale and diversity of data sources.
Fallback models sounds like a crucial safety net in case the primary LLM encounters an error or malfunction.
Think of it as a backup generator for your AI.
Yeah.
It's about ensuring the system remains reliable and functional,
Yeah.
even when facing unexpected challenges.
Makes sense.
And then, of course, we have LLM security, which is paramount, given the increasing concerns about data privacy and the potential misuse of AI.
Absolutely. We need to ensure that these powerful technologies are used responsibly and ethically.
Couldn't agree more.
Now, this article proposes some exciting solutions to these challenges.
It does.
But honestly, that conversation deserves its own deep dive.
I think so, too.
For now, let's move on to a particularly intriguing issue, the world of RAG.
Okay.
Hallucinations.
Ah, yes. Those moments when AI systems seemingly make things up.
Yeah.
We have a research paper here that dives into this phenomenon,
Okay.
specifically in the context of legal AI tools.
Mm-hmm.
And the findings are pretty eye-opening.
So we've got these AI legal assistants powered by RAG.
Right.
And they're supposed to be, super reliable, helping lawyers sift through mountains of case law.
Yeah.
But this research paper, it's titled Hallucination Free, Assessing the Reliability of Leading AI Legal Research Tools. It really puts that claim to the test.
And what's fascinating here is that the researchers designed their tests to mimic real-world legal research scenarios.
Okay.
They wanted to see how these AI tools would perform under pressure,
Right.
just like a lawyer preparing for a big case.
And the results were a bit alarming. Even the top-of-the-line legal AI tools from companies like LexisNexis and Thomson Reuters,
Right.
they had hallucination rates between 17% and 33%.
That's significant.
That's a pretty significant margin of error when you're dealing with the law.
And it's not just minor inaccuracies.
Yeah.
We're talking about misinterpretations of legal concepts, fabricated case citations,
Oh,
and even misattributions of legal opinions.
that's pretty bad.
These aren't just typos.
Right.
They're errors that could have serious consequences in a legal setting.
Imagine a lawyer presenting a case based on a fabricated citation generated by the AI. That could really undermine their credibility.
Absolutely.
And potentially harm their client's case.
The researchers even went a step further
Yep.
and developed a typology of hallucinations,
Interesting.
categorizing them based on their severity and potential impact.
Okay.
This helps us understand the nuances of this problem
All right.
and develop strategies for mitigating these risks.
Okay, let's break down these categories.
Sure.
First up, we have ungrounded hallucinations.
Right.
It's like the AI is making a bold claim without any evidence to back it up.
It's like saying the sky is green without any scientific basis or observation to support that statement.
Yeah.
In the legal context, this could involve an AI claiming a particular law exists when it doesn't,
Oh, I see.
or misrepresenting the interpretation of a legal precedent.
Then there are misgrounded hallucinations, which seem a bit sneakier.
These involve the AI citing sources that actually exist,
Okay,
but are completely irrelevant to the topic at hand.
gotcha.
It's like referencing a cookbook when asked about astrophysics.
Right.
The source might be real, but it provides no relevant information to support the claim.
So it's not just about verifying the source itself,
Right.
but also ensuring that the source actually supports the AI's claim.
And finally, we have fabricated hallucinations, which are perhaps the most concerning.
And this is where the AI just makes things up,
Yeah.
inventing sources that don't actually exist.
Like citing a research paper that was never written,
Right.
or referencing a legal case that never happened.
And that's where the issue of trust comes into play.
Absolutely.
If we can't rely on these AI systems to provide accurate and truthful information, it undermines their entire value proposition.
Okay, so we've explored this potential dark side of brag with hallucinations,
Right.
but researchers aren't just sitting back and letting this happen.
Yeah.
They're developing some pretty clever solutions to make these systems more reliable.
I was going to say.
One approach that got my eye is called golden retriever.
Oh, yeah, golden retriever.
It's like having a super smart editor for your AI.
Golden retriever focuses on improving the quality of the question before it even gets to the retrieval stage.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, making sure you're asking the right question before diving into a research project.
Golden Retriever acts like a meticulous editor,
Mm.
identifying and clarifying any potentially ambiguous jargon, abbreviations,
Okay.
or unclear references in the user's question.
The paper gives a great example. If you ask, what is the PUC architecture of a NAND chip?
Right.
Golden Retriever would flag PUC and NAND as potential jargon.
Yeah.
Then it would try to understand their specific meaning in the context of the question.
By disambiguating the question beforehand,
Right.
Golden Retriever significantly increases the chances of finding relevant and accurate information.
So it's kind of like having a knowledgeable guide who points you in the right direction before you set off on your research journey.
Okay, so we've tackled clarity with Golden Retriever.
Yeah.
What about adding more awareness to these AI systems?
I was just thinking that.
That's where contextual embeddings come into play, right?
That's right.
Contextual embeddings aim to give AI a deeper understanding of the relationships between different pieces of information.
So instead of just memorizing random facts, the AI starts to understand the narrative, the context, the connections that make information meaningful.
Precisely. One of the papers explores two methods for achieving this.
Yeah.
The first is a modified contrastive learning objective, which helps the AI distinguish between similar and dissimilar pieces of information,
Right.
taking into account their surrounding context.
So it's like showing the AI pairs of images, but instead of just saying same or different,
Right.
you also tell it why they are similar or different based on the surrounding details.
Exactly. And the second method involves a new contextual architecture,
Okay.
which explicitly encodes information from neighboring documents into the embedded representation.
So they're giving the AI a mental map
Yeah.
that shows how different pieces of information are related to each other.
Okay, so instead of just seeing individual data points, the AI starts to see the connections, the patterns, the underlying structure of information.
That's pretty cool. And the researchers actually achieved state-of-the-art performance on a benchmark test using these methods.
What's even more impressive is that they achieved this without using complex techniques like hard negative mining, which are often computationally expensive.
Right.
This means their approach is not only effective, but also efficient.
So they found a way to make these AI systems smarter without sacrificing speed or efficiency.
Exactly.
Now, all of this research is incredibly exciting.
It is.
But I'm always curious about how these advancements are being applied in the real world.
Well, you're in luck.
Ugh.
One of the sources you sent is all about just that. We're taking a look at the winning solution for the Meta KDD Cup 2024 Challenge,
Oh, yeah.
where teams competed to build the most effective ARG system.
Oh, yeah. Team DB3. They really impressed the judges with their innovative approach.
The challenge involved answering questions using a combination of web sources and knowledge graphs.
Okay.
Imagine having to answer a trivia question, but you can use both Google and Wikipedia to find the answer.
Yeah.
It's about combining the vastness of the web with the structured knowledge of a knowledge graph.
It sounds like quite a challenge. How did Team DB3 approach it?
Their secret weapon was a regularized API set,
Okay.
which they used to efficiently extract structured data from knowledge graphs.
Right?
Think of it as a set of well-defined search filters for a massive library.
Gotcha.
Instead of sifting through millions of books manually,
Yeah.
you can use these filters to quickly narrow down your search to the most relevant entries.
So instead of drowning in a sea of data, the AI can quickly zero in on the information it needs.
And to make the process even more efficient, they developed an LLM-powered API generation method.
Okay.
This essentially taught the AI how to automatically create these structured queries.
So they're basically giving the AI the ability to design its own research tools.
So they've created a self-learning RAG system that can adapt and improve its information gathering skills over time.
That's impressive. And it clearly paid off, with Team DB3 winning the competition by a significant margin.
It's truly inspiring to see RAG move from theory to practice,
Yeah.
demonstrating its potential to solve real-world challenges.
But as with any new technology, there's a learning curve.
Absolutely.
Are there any established best practices for developing effective RG systems?
That's a great question. And luckily, we have a research paper that dives into just that.
Great.
It's called Searching for Best Practices in Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Okay.
And it offers some valuable insights for developers.
One of the key takeaways is the importance of fine-tuning both the retriever and the generator for specific tasks and domains.
Right.
A generic RAGI system might work okay for general knowledge,
Yeah.
but it might struggle when faced with specialized fields like law or medicine.
Well, it's like training a dog.
Right.
You wouldn't use a chihuahua to herd sheep, right?
Exactly.
Different breeds have different strengths.
Fine-tuning is about tailoring these AI systems to excel in specific domains.
The paper also highlights the importance of choosing the right chunking technique.
Chunking, what's that all about?
It's about how you break down large documents into smaller, more manageable pieces that the AI can process effectively. Think of it as dividing a giant pizza into slices.
Okay.
The way you slice it will affect how easily you can eat it.
So it's not just about feeding the AI a ton of information.
Right.
It's about presenting that information in a way that the AI can digest and understand.
Exactly.
And finally, the paper touches on the exciting possibilities of multimodal retrieval.
Multimodal makes me think of those futuristic interfaces where you can control everything with your voice and hand gestures.
While we're not quite there yet,
True.
multimodal retrieval, in the context of RAG, refers to the ability to search for information using not just text, but also images, videos, and other modalities.
So instead of just searching for keywords, you could search for concepts, visual patterns,
Yeah.
or even emotions conveyed in a video.
That really expands the possibilities.
It does, and it highlights the transformative potential of RAG. It's not just about finding information faster.
Right.
It's about changing the way we interact with knowledge itself.
It sounds like RAGs is not only changing how we access information on a global scale, but also revolutionizing knowledge management within organizations.
You're absolutely right.
One of the papers you sent focuses specifically on the challenges of applying RAG to enterprise knowledge bases.
Right.
Those vast repositories of information that companies use to manage their internal knowledge.
It's like a company's own private Google, but way smarter.
The paper proposes a framework called EKRG to address the unique challenges of enterprise RAG,
Right.
such as dealing with limited training data and sensitive information.
Because companies probably wouldn't be thrilled about their confidential data being used to train a public AI model.
One of the key innovations of EKRG is using an LLM to generate document question pairs,
Right.
essentially creating its own study guide based on the available data.
So they're teaching the AI to be a self-sufficient learner.
Precisely.
They also employ a relevance-aware teacher-student learning strategy,
Okay.
where a smaller, specialized model learns from a larger, more general model. This is particularly effective for situations with limited training data.
Wow. It sounds like RAG is opening up a whole new world of possibilities for how companies manage and utilize their knowledge assets.
It is. And it makes you wonder what other fields are ripe for disruption by RAG.
It feels like RAG is poised to become the ultimate research assistant, not just for companies, but for anyone who needs to access and understand information.
Absolutely. And one of the papers you shared, it hints at how RAG could even enhance the creative process.
Oh, that's the one that mentions fashion design, right?
Yeah.
I was so intrigued by that idea.
It suggests that RAG can be used to generate novel designs
Okay.
by combining elements from various sources, like historical fashion trends, cultural influences,
Right.
or even natural patterns.
Imagine an AI fashion designer that can draw inspiration from a global library of images, textiles, and design concepts. It could create styles we've never even imagined before.
It's an exciting thought. And this is just one example of how RAG can empower creativity across different fields.
Right.
Think about architects designing buildings inspired by organic forms, musicians composing melodies that blend different genres,
Yeah.
or chefs creating fusion dishes with unexpected flavor combinations.
It's not about AI replacing human creativity, but amplifying it.
Right.
It's like giving artists and innovators a powerful new tool to explore uncharted territories.
Precisely. Now, let's bring this back to you, the listener.
Okay.
Why should you care about RAG?
Yeah, why should they?
How could it impact your life?
Imagine a world where instead of spending hours searching for information online,
Yeah.
you have an AI assistant that can instantly provide you with the most relevant and accurate answers tailored to your specific needs.
Right.
No more sifting through pages of irrelevant search results or trying to decipher dense academic papers.
It's like having a personalized tutor who can answer any question, explain complex concepts in a way you understand. and even inspire new ideas.
And think about the implications for fields like education and healthcare.
That's huge.
Students could have access to personalized learning experiences.
Yeah.
And doctors could use ARG-powered tools to make faster and more accurate diagnoses.
The possibilities are truly endless.
It really does feel that way.
RG is still in its early stages of development,
Right.
but the potential is immense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a field that's rapidly evolving, and I have no doubt we'll see even more groundbreaking applications emerge in the coming years.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive,
I have.
exploring both the exciting potential and the challenges of RG.
Mhm.
But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question to ponder.
Okay.
If you could design a RAG-powered AI assistant
Yeah.
for your own field of work or interest,
Mm-hmm.
what would it be able to do?
Yeah. What would it be able to do?
What questions would you ask it? What insights would you hope to gain?
It's a question that invites us to think about how this technology could empower us individually. RAG isn't just about passively consuming information.
Right.
It's about actively engaging with knowledge and shaping it to meet our own unique needs and goals.
Well said.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of retrieval augmented generation.
Yes, thank you.
We hope you found this exploration as enlightening as we did.
And be sure to tune in next time
Yeah.
as we continue to explore the technologies and ideas that are shaping the future.
It's an exciting time to be alive.
Until then, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep asking those thought-provoking questions.